circuit. Well, it looks very much as though the incident that has brought out the pace car is in fact at Indianapolis. We're still unsure as to which car it is. What we can tell you is that it certainly is not on its roof. It's facing the wrong way, and it's parked up close to the barriers, although not in them. And any second now we hope to be able to tell you what it is. I thought for a moment then we got pictures of it, but that was the Prima Gas car in the pits, I think. It is the Chevron. Well, opinion in here seems to think in the Radio Le Mans studio seems to think that it's the Chevron, in which case it'll be the car number 113, will it not? The Jose Tybalt Chevron.
The pace car's obviously come in. There is Jaguar number 5 going through.
That is Jaguar number 4, I'm sorry. That is Jaguar number 4. So that car's still running well and about to go past one of the little Swift Air Ecosses there, number 102. As we mentioned about the Sauber-Mercedes, it is in the catch fencing. Neville, I think you may have seen a little more than we did.
Yeah, I was trying to attract your attention. I seem to have lost talk back to the studio, which I've suspected for some time but daren't say anything. And that car definitely has ended up in the catch fencing. It's being disentangled by the marshals, and I reckon that's why we had all the activity going on. It's got going again, however.
Back well at the wheel. Yes, it has got going again. I think it's going to eat most of its front spoiler before it gets back to the pits. Oh, no, it's not. It's not.
No, it's a new nose cone job.
That badly. It's a new rear wing and various other bits and pieces.
Yeah, new nose cone, new rear wing.
But obviously, yes, fair amount of panic. One or two little pieces of information particularly about the two Toyotas. Number 36, that was the Alan Jones car, ran out of fuel apparently. Small misunderstanding with the Japanese bosses, unfortunately, which didn't really realise how big the spare tank was, and it wasn't as big as they thought. And then number 37 finally succumbed to its engine overheating problems, which it's been suffering all along.
Well, about to come into your sight, Bob, and to yours, Neville, there's a fair old ding-dong going on between 6 and 5, the two Jaguars, but not the two leading Jaguars, because 5, I think, must be a lap behind. They can't be this far apart on the road.
Oh, he is a lap behind, and he'd like to be on the same lap.
Well, here they come past your commentary point now.
That is exactly in the plan at the moment. The game plan is not sort of to... is not be nice to your teammate time, quite obviously, but I think what it is the number 5 is hustling on a bit. He has a pit stop to come in the non-too-distant future, and would like a little bit more advantage over the Porsche, but I doubt that he will in fact get past the number 6 car. I think he'll probably sit there, and between the two of them they'll lessen the fuel situation a little bit for number 5 and probably enable him to pull away a little bit. But they are running in very close proximity, those two, at the moment.
Well, if you left the circuit last night, then there were 3 Jaguars running and running well, and indeed there wasn't a great deal to choose between what was happening between number 17 Porsche, which was the Singleton car, left from the carnage that Porsche suffered in the first 2 or 3 hours of the race with problems with chips and things like that, seeing one works car retire. The other one we know, in fact, never started due to an accident in practice. And it was 1 Porsche versus 3 Jaguars, and at one time the Jaguars seemed to have the advantage, and then the rain and the combination of changing over to wet tires changed the situation. And I was wondering what had happened to Joe Sayward, who was doing this so well before, so I think I'll let him do it so well again. So Joe, you talk about it. We got as far as the fact that it was raining, and it seemed that at that time the choice on tires and everything else and pit stops favored the Porsche a little bit.
Yes, well, Thank you, Neville, for throwing me into it.
I can go on if you like.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'll handle it, I think, maybe, almost. The Jaguar-Porsche battle that was going on at around 10:11 last night continued. The only casualty in that was just before midnight, James Weaver in the number 15 Porsche, the BLR car, had a rather disquieting experience as he braked for the Marsan corner when he discovered that the rear of his car was actually on fire. And he slammed the brakes on as he went past the signalling pit and brought the car to rest up the track, jumped out as fast as he could. He described it to me in the early hours as I was in a demi-panic, which I think was a major understatement. But unfortunately, after he was out, it was no problem for him, but there were no marshals within easy reach of the car, and it was very badly damaged. After that, it was left to the One Works Porsche and the 3 Jaguars.
This morning, at around about 10 to 3, one of those nasty hushes that comes over Le Mans when you know that something's happened but you're not quite sure what it is, struck the circuit and struck all the British, and struck particularly at Jaguar. The reason why was Jaguar had a car missing, and that car was Win Percy. And when all was beautiful, you were telling me, in fact, it was a lovely night, you were going down the straight, and then what happened?
Well, the vibration level started just before, about 200 meters before the kink, and what turns out to be a puncture. They found, obviously, Dunlop had been out and found fragments of the tyre, and they found the overheating and everything. But the thing let go completely just before the kink, and it literally did a 45-degree angle straight into the Armco, and then continued rolling, flying, barrel rolling, whatever it did. I don't really know too much about it, and ended up probably 250 meters round the corner.
In other words, you were just driving along there, and it just happened just like that. I mean, there's nothing you can do in a situation like that.
No, absolutely nothing. Thank God that they, A, went ahead and put up triple-layer Armco along there, and B, that the Tony Southgate design motor car is that strong. It's incredible.
It just goes to show what an amazing team it is. I mean, they've built a wonderful car, but to survive something like that, I mean, really quite amazing. In fact, I think you're the first person, in fact, that I've actually heard who's been through something like that, and actually been here to tell the tale and not actually forgotten all about it, because a lot of people have had accidents, they forget all about them, you remember every bit of it.
Yeah, I do. Going along upside down thinking, well, for God's sake, when the thing's going to land, you know, it seems to take forever just to come back down to earth again.
Win Percy is fine. He jumped out the car, he said, I got out the car, took a look to see if there's anything coming, ran across the track, jumped over the barrier and sat down. And the car is extraordinary. I saw it in the early hours of the morning when they brought it in. The monocoque is intact, the engine was still attached to it, the gearbox had come off. It was a complete wreck apart from the monocoque. It was I don't know, what can you say? Tony Southgate has built the strongest car ever. I think any other car would have been a complete disaster. And I think that Win Percy can rightly claim to have had the biggest accident on the Mulsanne without actually hurting himself. And after that there was pace car for an hour and 50 minutes while the various bits of barrier and wreckage were sorted out and rebuilt. And then as dawn came, the Jaguar attack began to wilt. The Porsche had got ahead probably at about, I think, 2 o'clock. It had established itself ahead where the Jaguars were getting to within a minute on alternate pit stops. But the Porsche obviously had the advantage. And then we had car number 4 come in. It had previously been in for some loose bodywork. And then it had a gearbox problem, which they are now solving in the pits. Or trying to solve in the pits. It's still recurring, and number 6 has gone out with a blown. Is it a blown engine?
No, it's cylinder head actually that's gone.
Oh, cylinder head, right?
Cracked cylinder head.
I'm in the Jaguar pit at the moment, and still they're now putting on. And if I look through one of the loops of the engine cover behind which I'm standing, they're putting the oil in. They've got the rear wing still to put on, and they've got the engine cover still to put on. So it's a little way away yet, I'm afraid, but not too far away. As you say, it's now taken 32 minutes and 10 seconds.